departure 350, Papa going to start the VFR descent to the water.
Super Petrel 350 on Papa. Roger, you gonna land there?
Yes ma'am, we'll be doing flash and goes for about the next half hour.
Super Petrel 350 Papa, radar service terminated. Squawk VFR and have fun.
Alright, squawk VFR, we'll talk to you in just a bit, 350, Papa.
Hawk 6004 Romeo, contact. Approach 126.75.
Alright, squawk VFR. Let's disable this train warning. Alright, we're listening to the Smithtown Lake frequency, although I do believe they're closed this week. Kind of resurfacing. Alright, time to get this airplane ready to go to the water. We got our landing light to pulse. Our bilge pump is on. The gear is blue indicating gear up. Pre-water landing checklist is complete. Gonna get rid of the autopilot and the flight director. Okay. So two main goals today. First is I really want to find some glassy water. It's as calm as it gets kind of morning down here. Early, I don't see any traffic yet, so we got a pretty good chance of the glassy water landing. The second goal is to turn down the heat on the intercom recording a little bit, and I've already failed that. I cannot find a setting either in the airplane or in the recorder to make that not pop and max out so much. So that's something I'll just keep working on. We're going to do a little bit of circling to get down to the river here. Also, if it works out, I want to continue testing the idea. I can tell how the boat is going to balance on during displacement based on where my trim position is in flight. And of course, worth noting that some of the aerodynamic forces out there, they don't exist when we're just floating around. So the trim might not be an exact indication for it, but it should be close enough, or at least close enough to keep the sponsons out of the water. There's some steam fog on the surface there. A few ripples, but I tell you, it looks pretty smooth. So we may get a glassy water landing or two this morning. not glassy water, but man, it is pretty. Log floating around there. Go ahead and head on south down the river, get out of that stuff. Glassy about this either. Another big log or something right there. That's interesting. We didn't get any rain, didn't get any wind events or anything like that last night. It's just stuff floating around here this morning. So I would say definitely no glassy water down here this morning. So good news is we failed both tasks right away. The sooner you get behind, the more time you have to catch up. So let's fly around and see what else the lake might have to teach us here this morning. left of us. We're running 3 wide here, so we're gonna give them plenty of space out in front. Find it interesting how different the wind is going past these fingers. It's going from calm to probably 15 to 20 knots coming from the right side there. Down below the pattern up here, just in case somebody is out here enjoying the morning with them. Although there's at least 2 to 3 boats there, so we are going to pick it up just a bit. Lots of open space now. There's 2 jet ski friends. I've seen them 3 days in a row now. Stand-up paddleboarder, that's cool. running ground effect here for a few miles. He's super fuel efficient. And I do say that tongue-in-cheek. I mean, we are technically a little more efficient, but not by much. We got some boats coming around the corner here, so we'll widen out, not scare anybody. Put a chop in this water. And while it's not my favorite thing, it is great for just trying to stay confident and comfortable in this airplane other than ideal conditions. Stay calm, fly smooth. Tried this area before and it was a little bit busy, mostly with wildlife. Let's slide back here again and see if there's anywhere we could work this morning. Also coming in it from a different direction gives us a chance to look for obstacles and things we maybe didn't see the last time we flew by to assess it. That's a pretty good area for confined stuff. I don't see any super shallow spots or debris laying around. Not out in the middle. Yeah, sort of same thing here. And so far, no fishing boats, no water skiers at all back here this morning. Okay. Yeah, man, we don't have the 100 geese that were floating around either, so yeah, let's give this a try. Didn't get the prompt to switch fuel tanks, and I am inclined to agree with that. I'm not going to do the paperwork right now, but we do have a fuel tank switch right at 7:30.
Traffic 04, yes, turning left now in runway 24 for southbound.
these slalom buoys, so I'm not gonna go touching down in there. But this is nice. So here, I'm not sure if the lake goes left or right, so I'm not going to accelerate and take off. My plan B here is if I choose the wrong way and the lake closes down, or here comes a boat with a water skier behind it, right? Had we been accelerating real hard, we would have not enjoyed that. Alright, so let's get up and out of here before we find that wake. Alright, we're off the water now. Oh, we even use the that max power, that turbo setting that this model has that I almost never ever use, but it's nice to have it for situations like that where I really want to use the minimum amount of water to get airborne. Alright, well that was interesting. Not exactly what I was looking for this morning, but I'm glad we did it. Alright. Got plenty of altitude, plenty of straight ahead. Let's take care of this fuel tree right quick. We're now burning off the right side. We got 5 gallons left. I'm going to guess we got about 1 on the left. Okay, and that was at 7:30, I think is what I said. All the geese this morning, sitting there at the islands. We will move on and leave them alone. Excellent. So this water is about perfect, although it has some fairly large swells in it. So we're going to use that as practice. Yeah, not every condition is going to be ideal, so we want to have practiced for when it's not. Good chance to use our minimum touchdown speed here, that rough water entry practice. A little bit higher pitch attitude. Nothing to it, right? Swell. We'll let it even out, then we'll power up. Try not to be too loud next to these fishermen. ramping. Every time I find one that has piers on both sides, which I totally understand. But I can still be a little bummed out. Oh, that's quite a buck. Very, very large deer. Thought I'd found one there, but it's sort of roped off or buoyed off or something, so that's not going to work. Alright, steep approach here. Let's slow this thing down. Come on in like we got rough water this morning. Of course, worth noting for real rough water entry or really any consideration, think about what your wind is doing as well. Because while I'm just kind of taking whatever is the best run of water, if I'm really trying to touch down in rough water or use the least amount of space, right, landing into that headwind is going to be very important. Let's see, our balance was looking pretty good there as far as our trim in the air. So let's go ahead and go up here and test that theory out again. Obviously, we're going to go up here in front of our friend's house. Just a little bit of wind indicated here. We'll probably get jostled around as we come to displacement. Alright, throttling back, going to displacement. And what do we have? We've got, both sponsons are out of the water. That's pretty good. So yeah, again, that we'll call it about that 5 or so percent position, about, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 millimeters off the center line of the trim. Alright, good stuff. We'll let the airplane find the wind here, center up a little bit. Looks like it's happy. Okay, displacement takeoff, here we go. Pulling back, throttling up. Pushing forward to help this thing get on step. We're on step, pulling back to reduce the oscillation. Now we're just step taxiing, get away from the shoreline here. No boats coming to the right. There we go. That boat is slowly moving towards us. That boat to the left gives them plenty of room for whatever they're doing. So you're flying around low like this. What happens if we get a sudden engine power loss? All right, the airplane wants to pitch up because all that drag. So you're going to have to be ready to react. Hold that nose down so you don't fly too high, and now we're touchdown. All right, no problem, right? Now, just for the example, and I'm going to make sure we got plenty of room to do this here. We've got a really good headwind coming right down the channel, so we actually have room, more room than it looks like. But let's get down in that same situation. We'll do a splash and go here, at least get close to it. And if we don't react to the pitch up moment that we get from that top-mounted propeller, see what happens. So we're flying around, cruising pretty good, going down the river, right? Get that engine failure. The airplane comes way off the water here, and you are going to have to push way down hard, right? You can hear that I added in that power just so we didn't do anything too exciting there, but not that I expect to experience sudden power losses, but we're always thinking about that, or at least training for it occasionally, right? So remember, you're down low, the engine fails, you're going fast, you're going to get a really big pitch up moment that if you don't control right there as it's trying to happen, you're going to have to end up making a pretty wild nose down recovery so you don't stall from 50 or so feet in. do another one or two of those. The first one will simulate that we didn't really react to it in time. I'll try to not add in power there. Just take it on back down to the water. I do reserve the right to not damage this airplane though, so. Just coming back around so you can have that whole straight stretch coming up. And get high enough so we have a little bit of visibility looking over. Make sure we don't have any boats coming or anything for this. There is a boat up there, but we got plenty of clear water ahead. Let's get down on deck level here. Again, we're enjoying a little practice flying around in ground effect. We're low, but not necessarily slow, right? We got pretty good power, so I'm going to pick it up to where we're cruising around about 70 knots. Sudden engine failure with no reaction. Oh, nose goes up. Uh-oh. We have to push forward. I'm already in the 50s. And then just have enough. There we go. Again, the stall speed on this airplane is down in the 30s even when you're properly loaded. So you're going to have plenty of, I don't want to say it, plenty of speed. You're not going to stall probably if you are, just keep your head, right? Stay calm, fly the airplane. But more to the point is it shouldn't be an issue at all if you jump on it fairly quick, get the airplane back under glide control. You'll have plenty of energy to touch down smooth and even extend that run a little bit if you had to. Alright, so again, we're getting down here, powering up, cruising around in ground effect. I'm going to let the airspeed build. Alright, so engine failure here at 70. The airplane pitches up. I sense that. I just keep the nose down. I am still in the 60s. Now it feels like a much more normalized landing. Alright, now we're back in the area of big debris, so we won't be touching the water around here anymore. In fact, I think we'll call it there, climb up, head back to run and get to work. After water checklist, we got the landing light off. The bilge pump goes off. The landing gear is up and blue after water checklist complete.